Hello, dear friends. I'm Catherine Beaumont, and I'd like to share with you a very personal tale that shaped my life and may help you understand the power of growth, love, and language. Listening to stories like this can improve your vocabulary, listening comprehension, and emotional understanding in English. So, make yourself a cup of tea, get comfortable, and come with me into the past. It was over a decade ago when I was just 18, living in a quiet coastal town called Harrowsbridge, nestled along the cliffs of Devon. I was young, naive, and thought I knew everything about love. There was a boy in the villages, name was Thomas Hale. Thomas was charming, strikingly handsome, and had a way of making girls feel seen. I was not immune. At 23, he seemed worldly and mysterious to my adolescent mind. My mother warned me. "That Thomas Hale is trouble, Catherine. Stay away," my aunt whispered. "He'll only break your heart." But I was in love, or so I believed. One Saturday, there was a midsummer dance in the village hall. My friends and I were thrilled. My mother hesitated, she had her concerns, but I pleaded with her. "I'll be with the girls all night," I promised. Eventually, she relented. The dance began quietly. Only a few people at first, then more trickled in. And then Thomas walked in. He smiled at me from across the room, and my heart nearly stopped. When he asked me to dance, I floated. During the slow songs, he held my hand. In the quiet moments, he made me laugh. I felt special. As the evening came to a close, he offered to drive me home. "Let's take the scenic route," he said, and I agreed. His car, a polished vintage Triumph, was the envy of the village. We drove beneath a sky scattered with stars. But then he turned onto a deserted lane by the cliffs. There were no lights, no people, just the sound of waves crashing below. He stopped the car, leaned in, and tried to kiss me. I pulled away. "Please, Thomas, I'd like to go home," I said. He didn't listen. He grabbed my wrist, insistent. I said no again, louder. He grew angry, called me boring, and pushed me out of the car. Alone in the cold, I walked the long way back 3 miles in poor shoes. My feet ached, and so did my heart. When I reached home, I collapsed on my bed and cried. Not just for the pain, but for the illusion I had believed in. The next day, I told my friends. They confessed Thomas had done the same to them. "Why didn't you warn me?" I asked. They looked away. "We thought you knew," they said. That night changed me. I stopped dreaming of Thomas Hale and started dreaming of a future I could build on my own. 2 years later, I moved to London. I got a job in a cosy bookshop in Bloomsbury, surrounded by stories and the scent of old pages. I walked to work every day. I found peace in routine. One afternoon, it began to rain. I had no umbrella, so I stood beneath a linden tree. Then came a man with a bright red umbrella. "May I offer you shelter?" he asked, with a soft smile. His name was Edward Langford, an architect who worked nearby. He began visiting the bookshop first once, then daily. We spoke of books, films, and travel. Edward made me laugh, not the giddy, uncertain laughter I had known with Thomas, but deep, warm laughter that lingered. We began meeting after work, walks in Hyde Park, museums, little cafes. One evening, he asked, "May I walk you home?" And under that same red umbrella, we walked together. But then he disappeared. A week passed, then 2. I felt that old ache return. One rainy evening, as I reached my flat, there he was, umbrella in hand. My sister was unwell, he explained. I had to go home to Yorkshire. I forgave him with a smile. We walked again in the rain. Years passed. I am now 40. Edward and I live in a small house near Kew Gardens. We have a daughter. And sometimes, when it rains, we take that red umbrella and go for a stroll, just like the first time. Thank you, dear listener, for staying with me through this story. I hope it touched your heart and helped you along your English learning journey. Stories like this one not only teach language, they teach resilience, choice, and the quiet strength we all carry. If you enjoyed this tale, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes the smallest things, a warning, a walk, or even an umbrella, can change everything. Until next time, I'm Catherine Beaumont. Take care.